Hey, 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 it's your girl Barbie J here, and we are talking about another wonderful, amazing, awesome episode of Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 12, Kiss It Up to God. You remember you used to do that when you were younger? I don't know how many people did that. You drop something on the floor and your mother said, pick it up, kiss it up to God. Mwah. And that's just the same story they told that Raymond said to Leah about what they used to tell the twins. But anyway, I gotta tell you, this episode was something else. There was proposals being made. There was secrets being exposed everywhere. Some of them on purpose, some not on purpose, some by accident. I mean, secrets was blowing up everywhere. So let's get straight into this episode right after I say this. If you have not subscribed to Barbie J's channel, please take a moment and subscribe right now. Go on, hit that little subscribe button, then hit the notification bell next to it. It'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Then I ask you to hit the like button, which is the thumbs up. Make a comment, write a comment, because we want to know how you feel about the episode as well. And then share it. Share the video. Thank you, because we need to help Barbie J's channel grow. Remember, is subscribe, like, comment, and share. All right now. Now this episode started off with what was it? I'm gonna start getting these names confused again. I don't know. There's a lot of L's in there, aren't there? No. Anyway, it starts off with Angela and Piggy. They bringing Nikki downstairs with to surprise her. They bring her downstairs and surprise her with her new line named Nikki's Halo. So her mother told her how proud she was of her and everything she accomplished that summer. And she named her new line after her, even though they're supposed to be moving out of the Bluffs. She still wanted to do something to show her appreciation. And her daughter's like, but mommy, all of this wouldn't have been able to happen without you opening doors for me to get there. And she started talking about the new love that she found and everything. But later on in this episode, I might as well say it now, she finally finds out from, what is the child named Taylor, that they're breaking up. Taylor never told her it was about, because she was dating her cousin. She was back with her cousin, that little sneaky little Lauren. But on the beach, they broke up and she got mad at her. Nikki got mad and ran off, and you know what happened. It was just heartbreaking. But then they had a scene with sexy dark chocolate Morris Chestnut with a towel wrapped around his waist, dripping wet, chest all exposed, shimmering with the oil and the water, and he go, and his wife look up at him and she smiling. She back at reading that letter. He said, wait a minute. He said, back in the day, at least I get a, all right now, honey. He said, you ain't even give me that. You still reading that letter from your mother? So she was really engulfed. She's still grieving, and she's engulfed in that letter that her mom left for her. So she wasn't really into the, baby, let's do this. She ain't into that right now. But anyway, he sits down and he talks to her, and, she's still feeling bad of what she did to Angela, her sister. She deserved to be in it, and she was very upset. And he reminded her what they used to do when their kids was little with the kissing it up to God. And he told her, he said, when you make a mistake, if you pick your mistake up fast enough and hold it up to the sky, he said, all the bad will be undone. He said, baby, everything can be fixed. So then Raymond goes down for breakfast, and who's at the table but Tariq and, of course, Teddy. And Teddy starts rubbing it into him that he's been looking into Jack's accidental death. And he's saying, today is a bad day to be Raymond DuPont. I have to say, he let him know that he's getting his shares back. So he's going to have control of the company again. And Raymond is not too thrilled about that. That's why you never rub things into people, because that's what he was doing last week, rubbing it into Teddy. And it's like, you should know Teddy got something up his sleeve. He not going to let you get away with that, Raymond. Then we see that Leah, through an emergency meeting of Gracities, trying to get Angela back in there. And Angela didn't know what was happening. So Angela's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's trying to talk about it. And then Olivia comes in there saying, some of us have been talking and we don't think that you are well enough to run this, be the president of it. You know, your mother put these rules in place, and Leah's trying to tell her these things are antiquated. They don't, they don't jive in nowadays, whatever rules and guidelines they had. Things supposed to change with the times. And these older women are stuck back there with the way things used to be. And Olivia got mad because she allowed two girls to walk down. Remember, her granddaughter and, well, Olivia's granddaughter and the girlfriend, which is Lauren and Taylor, walked in together, and they never have it. It's always a boy and a girl, not a girl and a girl. So they're not liking these changes that she's been making. So Olivia's like, you brought us all together for this. And she started talking about the bylaws, and they state only a senior member of the chapter grants an exception. And that's the only way they can revisit a down vote. And she's the senior member, meaning she ain't about to do that. So she accused Leah of spitting in the face of tradition, and Angela was pulling her back like, don't even bother and stuff. And, oh, honey, Leah about to jump all over Olivia. And that's her mama-in-law, her monster-in-law. That's who she is, her monster-in-law. And Olivia mentioned her Rose's name, my friend's Rose's grave or something. She said, keep my mother's name out of your mouth. And she went to jump on her, and Angela pulled her back, being a good sister, saying, look, remember where you are, bring it together, get it together. She got her together and said, I will help you throw this big event. Don't worry. They were trying to take the event away from Leah. But Angela said, I got your back. And she turned around, got her back together, told those old bats that she is not taking a seat, and that this next grand elimination ball will be the best ever. And that's what they did too. They put on a fantabulous event. Then we have Leah fussing at Teddy about, why does Angela have to leave town now? You said what she was digging up would hurt mommy, but mommy's dead now, so why does she have to leave? He's like, could you just leave it alone? Leave it alone. She's like, but Angela was there when you had your heart attack and everything, and he didn't even care. He just kept on walking and talking. Then Angela asked for Tariq to come to the house because she wanted to show him that gun, and said that might be some evidence or something. And they were putting things together and piecing events and time frames. And then Nate jumped in the conversation and said something, and Tariq jumped up and said, I would never put Angela in danger like that. And he was like, I know. He said, that's why we leaving here tomorrow night. She leaving here tomorrow night with me. And Tariq just was like, Angela, I'll look into whatever you need. And Angela just was rubbing her temples like, I can't deal with this right now. And Piggy just was looking on. It was crazy. Nate was just, I don't know what Nate was doing, why he was getting himself involved. So then Nikki comes in crying. She's upset because Taylor broke up with her. And, that's her first love. And, of course, Nate is there and Angela's there. And he starts with you never forget your first love. And Angela's like, she hear what he's saying, but she's not making any reference to it or, even commenting on it. She just let Nikki know that you will fall in love again. There will be other loves. Don't you worry about it. And Nikki's like, I don't want to go to the grand elimination ball. And she was like, baby, we're going to go. You're going to complete this. She just let her know she's going to be fine. Everything going to be all right. Because love is powerful and it never dies. Which was very good advice. Then we have Nate throw this special little, I don't know, little rendezvous thing for her played a video from when she was younger, when he used to carry this video camera around. Now, to me, he just got out of prison. Okay, so and came straight to the Bluffs. Where'd he get this film with this videotape that he took of her years ago when they were younger? Huh? Come on, y'all. So he all dressed up in a suit and he got candles laid out on the table and everything in the backyard, and he cooked her favorite dish. And this man proposed to her. And as he proposed to Angela, she's like, what? What? Didn't Tariq come in with information about her mama and her mother's arrest? Yes, he did. And Nate said, brother, do you mind? And Tariq said, yes, I do. He said, Angela, I have information that might clear your mother's name. So, of course, Angela was like, let me take care of this business right here. So she got up from the chair and went over to Tariq, and Nate went inside and she told Tariq, I didn't ever answer him. He's trying to offer me a life with, they give Nikki a family and everything. And then she's like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. She said, I'm sorry. I'm so used to confiding in you. You've helped me get through everything I've been going through here at the Bluffs. And I just am comfortable talking to you or whatever. And he said, look, Angela, I just want you to be happy, whatever that looks like to you. He said, but I know some of what would make you happy is finding the truth about what happened to your mother because of Teddy. So he gave her the information that he learned about, and they were just amazed because she was partially right. That gun was the one that shot Teddy's brother. So it looked like Teddy may have killed his own brother. So Tariq said, if you ask me if you should run away with him or stay here and fight for answers for your mother, he said, my answer is biased, but I vote for you to stay here and fight and find out what really happened with your mom. So then it switches over to Taylor and Lauren in the bed making out and stuff, and they stop for a moment and they're talking. She's like, I really hate that Nikki got hurt. Was it bad? She said, yeah, she was hurt. She was upset. She said, but she was kind of like, this is Taylor Thorne, she was collateral damage when we were getting our stuff together, and Lauren's like, yeah, okay. And then Taylor notices a diamond bracelet that Lauren has on, and then Lauren says, she got her one too, and she gives her the case that's supposed to have the bracelet in it, and it's missing. The diamond bracelet is missing. So Lauren automatically thinks it's this girl that Sloan, the help that's dating her brother. And so she goes to Sloan's grandmother and tells Sloan's grandmother, one, that they're dating, and two, that she's been stealing her stuff. So the grandmother opened the door and caught them in their kissing and said, I thought y'all might be hooking up behind my back. She said, but I said Quincy would never disrespect me like that, would he? So she pulled Sloan out of there and said, your days here are done. You are going right back. You will be leaving immediately or something like that. And Quincy's like, no, you can't do that, Miss Jackie. I love her. And she's like, girl, please. She said, boy, please. And then she pulled Sloan out there and told her, plus things have been missing from Lauren's room. So Lauren's accusing her. So the grandmother leaves and Sloan goes back and say, I'm so sick of your sister projecting her stuff on me, blaming me for stealing when she's the only one who's stealing. She stole your cousin Nikki's girlfriend from her. She's been hooking up with Taylor behind her back for several weeks now. So then we have Angela and Leah working together, putting together these big posters they blew up for the grand elimination ball, and they're working together, and somehow they get on the topic of Teddy and that gun, and Leah's not trying to hear it, and Angela is pushy. She's trying to push it and tell her, this is what's going on. I have proof. But Leah's like, she's still grieving, so she can't get past of all the stuff that she's thinking about what may have happened to her mother, the pillow with the lipstick on it and everything, and the letter her mother left. But all of this happened because Teddy saw them in there working together, and he decides to come in there and tell Angela, how nice it was to meet her or something like that. And he just thought it'd be nice if he came and said goodbye before they left. And he apologized for what happened between him and her mother. Really? So Angela got annoyed, and when he left, she closed the doors and she started telling, Leah everything, but Leah just could not grasp it at all. And Angela said, you know what? It's you. It doesn't matter. I don't even see how we could be sisters, because you're gonna always choose your father, no matter what, and I'm gonna always choose my mother. And she just opened the doors and she walked out. But then we have a scene with her on the beach, Angela on the beach with dark chocolate Tariq. Ooh, Lance Gross and his pretty dark black skin. Girls, ladies, please. And he's walking with her on the beach, and he's telling her he can't stand being in a room with her without wanting to hold her tight, and his chest gets tight when he sees her, and he just wants to I was like, oh, stop. I was fanning in here. I was like, baby, it's nighttime on the beach. And then they're walking, and he's saying all these luscious wonderful things, and they stop, and all of a sudden he hits some button, and all these a heart. It's like a heart in the sand with flowers all around. It lights up. I was like, damn. But he was saying he don't want to get in between her and, what Nate with their child and stuff. But he was like, baby, Nate is your past. I am your present and your future. I said, oh, shoot. And he hit that button. They was in a circle with roses all around it and everything. It was beautiful. I was like, damn. And then he got down on one knee in the sand and opened up that ring box. I swear there was a light in it, because that ring was shining. There was a bright light on that diamond, and it was shining. He said, you already have a Eve's crown. Now let's have a Angela's crown. And her mouth was hanging open. Mine was too. Damn. And he said he wanted to build her a home right there on the beach. Man, I wish a man would tell me he wanted to build me a house. Come on now. Come on now. So she was standing there crying. She was like, I just need a moment to think. Tears running down her face. He said, I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now. He said, so I'll see you at the ball. And he gave her the box with the ring, and he walked off and left her standing in that circle of roses. Good God Almighty. So here we are at the ball, and more secrets come out. Nikki and Angela and Piggy walking there looking pretty with their ball gowns on. And Nikki sees Taylor, and she goes over to her and apologizes for being mean to her, saying mean things like, I hate you and wish I never met you and stuff. When Taylor broke up with her on the beach, I told y'all earlier. And then next thing you hear is Quincy and Lauren arguing, and she's saying Sloan is a gold digger and stuff, and Raymond's like, lower your voices, and she's like, Sloan has no place here. She's a parasite and a lion. Quincy was like, you would know about lying. You've been hooking up with Taylor behind Nikki's back for weeks now. And he turned around and everybody was looking, and Nikki was like, you could have told me to Taylor, and Taylor didn't say nothing. And Lauren said, I asked her not to say anything. She said, do you understand that lies don't help, Lauren? She said, can't you see that? She said, you great Franklin DuPont. You're all so cruel. She said, it's like cruelty runs through your blood, and I wish I didn't have any of it running in my veins. I mean, she went in, and everybody was standing there like, mama, dad, the whole family. Too bad Olivia wasn't there to hear it too. So Raymond, she runs off and everybody kind of scatters and stuff. And Raymond grabs Leah and says, look, because Leah's like, oh, now they're lying to each other. And Raymond stood in front of her and said, Leah, this is your father's influence. He done drilled it into them like he drilled it into you. And she's like, well, the only way to beat my father is by taking away what he values most, and that's his legacy. So she said, I just hope it's not too late to kiss our whole family up to God. Yeah, I hope so too, girl. But y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about what went down, because a lot of secrets was coming out, and here come another secret, because at the same event, Leah is giving a speech, and they're all standing up there on a balcony, kind of like on a balcony. They're really just up the steps, and everybody else is down the steps. And it's the DuPont family minus Olivia. Olivia's not there. And Teddy Franklin is there. And then there's Piggy, Leah, and Piggy, Nikki, and Angela are on the other side. And Teddy kisses Leah and then stands back, and she talks about how this event was such wonderful for her mother, how much her mother adored this event. It's the end of the summer event. So in honor of Rose, the group would like to present a gift from the night she was first inducted into the Graceties in, I think it was 1984, to her husband, Teddy Franklin. And Leah and Angela standing there holding a box, and when he opens it up, it's that gun. It's the gun, and his hands start shaking. Oh my God. And Leah said, "You can't hide from the truth, not anymore, Daddy." And he kept seeing his brother in the crowd with a bullet hole in his head. Everywhere he went, he ran into his office, and he could see his brother standing there with a bullet hole in his head, and then they all went into the office with him and made him start explaining. And when he was explaining, of course, he blamed it on Rose, his dead wife. He blamed it on her. But if that bothered him so bad, I don't think he would be seeing his brother all the time. But then they don't know he sees his brother. And Leah was thinking because he named a stadium after him, that's why he loved his brother and honored him. But no, that's his guilt why he did that stadium in his name. And I forgot to mention, Tariq handed them the box. So Tariq was in that room also with all of them, the whole family and them, minus Olivia, because she just a rotten apple herself too. So Leah asked him, "You going to tell answers? Give us answers now exactly what happened that night." But like I said, he blamed his dead wife, of course. And she asked him why him and his brother were fighting that night, because she knew he signed a big real estate deal that evening that put him on the map. She said, "Was that deal dirty? Were you undervaluing the properties of poor black folks like you're doing now? Is that what he confronted you about?" I mean, they were throwing stuff at him, and Raymond stepped to him too and said, whatever Raymond said, he said, "That ends tonight. That ends now." And then Leah told him he had to leave the property because of his behavior. He had to go. She said, "I want you to leave this property and Franklin Holdings tonight because your behavior is setting a bad example for the kids." She sees how it affects them, and that's why she wanted him gone. So then at the same party, something more interesting happens with Olivia, whereas Angela goes and walks up to Olivia with her phone. I was wondering why her cell phone was in her hand, and she confronts her and said, "You're the one who set up my mother." And the other lady stepped aside, and Angela put the pieces together. "You're the one who put the drugs in her bag." So Olivia, thinking she's so big and bad, and Angela's leaving town, she's like, "You know what, Angela? Yeah, let's get this cleared out right now. And she proceeded to say some nasty things about Eve, about Angela's mother, and how she was, and she wasn't this, and she wasn't that. And oh, she went on and said, yes, she admitted that she put the drugs on in her, the crack in her bag, and that's how she got arrested. And oh, yeah. She said everything. That was the night Eve was supposed to be driving to the docks to meet Teddy. And Angela said, "I had the wrong person. I'm thinking it was Teddy who set her up, but it was you." And remember, Olivia is Raymond's mother. And she told Angela, "Your mother was a conniving, gold-digging, social climbing home wrecker." And Angela was standing there with tears welling up in her eyes, but she stood there and listened. "Who crushed my best friend and destroyed my one chance of business. You satisfied?" And Angela said, "You have no idea. I finally have justice for my mother." And she's shaking that cell phone hand. I knew she was recording it. Olivia said, "Justice? You have no proof." She said, actually, I have every word. And Olivia, she was recording. She showed Olivia the phone, and Olivia knocked it out of her hand and stepped on the phone. And she said, bitch is up in the cloud now. That's what Angela told her. Did she call her bitch? Let me take that back. Hold on. Oh, I was right. She did say that. And then she told her, you better help me finish what my mother started. Because now she could blackmail her. So remember, she was one of the eldest member of the Graceties. So what she did was allowed uh she allowed Angela to Olivia allowed Angela to go through and be inducted into the Graceties. And then she gave an anonymous seed money for her to do what she needed to do with Eve's crown. And it was a surprise. Leah didn't even know it until Angela got up to the front. She had the candle up in her face, and when she pulled it down, Leah was shocked, and she smiled, and she pinned her sister. And then later she walked over to her and whispered in her ear, welcome to the sisterhood, sis. Which was such a touching moment for me in this show. But then after all of the pomp and circumstance, after later on they were talking, and she said, how did you get Olivia to change her mind? And she told her where she found out that Olivia was the one who set up her mother, not Teddy. And Leah was so shocked. She was like, what? Yep, she said, and she didn't get off so easy, did she? She said, nope. She said, all of a sudden, I got my what is it? My business distribution for my business with a silent partner who has no power. So that's what it was. Yep. I was like, oh my gosh. And then she shared with Leah that Nate proposed to her and wants her to run away with him tonight. And she said, oh, really? Because Leah asked her, is she going to stay in Oak Bluffs now that all of this is taken care of? And she told her that. And then she said, and Tariq proposed. She said, well, damn. I was like, oh my God, it was so much. They having that little sister talk, telling the guy little gossip about our men's and stuff. It was so cute. So she's like, well, where the rings? What did you say? And Angela's like, I got to talk to both of them in person right now and let them know what's in my heart. And I'm going to have to walk away from one of them, she said. Oh, boy. So then we see Quincy go up to Sloan, and he said he's going to fight for her. He's going to tell Miss Jackie that's not right. He wants, he needs you to stay. He wants you to stay because he loves her. And she pulls out the stick. What's the stick called that you pee on? The pregnancy stick. She said, it won't be too hard. I'm pregnant. I said, oh man, Quincy sitting there with his mouth open. Then they show Piggy going over there and talking to Teddy and, thanking him for what he did. She said, even though it was hard, what she went through, she thanked him for making her believe she killed Darius because that's what got her clean. She said it truly got her clean. And thank you for loving my sister, even though it was flawed. And it probably was your love for her that made you want to help me. Then she told him he needs to change. She called him Teddy Slick. I was like, oh, Lord. But when Piggy and Teddy clinked glasses, because she said something about you got 9 lives and I know you won't just slither away or something like that. There was a look. They looked at each other. I don't know what that was all about. But something I think went on between Piggy and Teddy back in the day because they had a look like they had a secret between them. That's something they did. But then it ended with Angela going to meet with Tariq. And she was crying, tears was running down her face, and he just thanked her for letting him down in person. And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm saying yes, silly. He said, you are? Really? Then why are you crying? She said, it's just a lot. It's a lot, and I'm emotional, I guess. So she said she's happy and she's excited, and she said, I'm yours. Oh, baby. And he planted a sweet kiss on her lips. But then, it didn't end there. Oh my God, I forgot about the ending. So we got Leah and Raymond hitting it off. They making out. They hugging and kissing like little kids and stuff. And they go into the office. I don't know if that was Teddy's office or whose office. And he cleared off the desk. And they's about to get it on. And They said something about getting something to drink. So she was laying on the desk. And then she did mention that she said, you know what? I'm going into business with Angela and Eve's Crown. She said she thinks there should be a different type of family business started from the ground up. And she said she's going to change the name of the stadium to the DuPont Stadium. Basically, I guess she's going to let him start running things while she's working with Eve. So he said he likes the sound of that. And he said this calls for a toast. And that's when he went to get something to drink. And she went and sat in her father's chair and was spinning around. And then she put her legs up and crossed her legs. And somebody came in through the door. They didn't come all the way in. They said Teddy Franklin. And they shot like 1 or 2 shots into the chair. And they shot Leah. They thought it was Teddy in there. They never looked and saw her legs was up on the thing. They just saw the back of the chair. I don't even know how they knew the chair was moving and somebody was sitting in it. But Leah got shot at the end, and this just broke my heart. And that's the way this ended. And I'm so sorry, y'all. This review was so long. But this episode, I don't know when this show is coming back, because it's not coming back on next week. That's for sure. Another different show is coming on. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about this show. I tell you, it's just a wonderful show. It's so well put together, and I've enjoyed just about every episode, I think, of it. So put down in the comment section what you thought about the episode, what you think about the show, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please. Like, comment, and share. This your girl Barbie J saying peace.